what the problem is that women don't like average guys,
True.
but they don't realize they are average themselves. I
Yes.
agree with Bruiser when he says when at 35, what I realized the guy is just getting his money. See, we thinking that guys are sleeping with girls all the whole time, but they're not. They're just getting what they can get. By the time they hit 35 and they start making money, they don't want to be married because then now they got money. Now they got to really play the field. Now they really showing off. They get a little cocky and then after that, 45 something, they want to settle down, get married, and things like that. So I do agree with a lot of things that Shan, when you're not here,
If you look at your counterpart and they're equal to you in every which way, and you say I'm settling for that person, then what does that make you?
That makes a woman hypergamous. That's what it does. If a woman is if a woman is going after a man that has a higher income, a higher social status than herself, then that makes her hypergamous.
No, you can't do that anymore.
The
It's
problem is
outdated.
the problem
It's
is
not
that
outdated. It's they just self disqualify themselves. They disqualify
the
themselves.
problem with calling it hypergamy is she would have to be comparing that man to another man. They're comparing men to themselves.
No.
Nope.
Like when they say no, listen to what I'm saying.
I mean,
I
What's up, guys? Boogie back again. Guys, we have another video from Lapif Network, and I love the conversations they have, talk about men and women. I think especially black men and black women relationship dynamics, right? And in this video, they talk about why women don't like average men, average guys. We have seen it on social media. They want the six-figure guy, 6 feet tall, and so on and so forth. So the average guy, 5'8", $50,000 is doesn't cut it, right? They may mess with you here and there, but if the rich guy comes around, see ya. They always say they want you to meet them on their level. What level that is, I don't know. But let's get into it, and I'll give my um opinions. And guys, the full video will be down in the descriptions or in the comments or pinned down below the Lapif channel if you guys want to check out the rest of their videos. Let's go.
make more money, therefore I deserve more. I got an education, therefore I deserve. They're comparing the man to themselves. They're not comparing them to another man.
Can I say one thing, Shan? I get that you said there's a lot of men that's or a red flag for the man that was over 35.
that's for
It's
me.
just yeah, I got it. It's just safe to say that the men who are 35 and older that are not yet married,
Sure.
it's to say that safe to say that are actually making improvements. They're actually stepping into their peak. You know what I'm saying? As far as being on their purpose and present themselves as a husband and a provider. And the women that are at that age of 35 aren't necessarily improving. And we
Well,
can't really say the same for the women that are reaching 35 that aren't married. They're because I see it. I see what you're saying. But when we look at the women that are 35 and 40, I don't see that those women are actually, you know,
so maybe
childless.
40, maybe 35 was too young. Maybe a 40, 42, 44, maybe the 40. So 35 may have been,
Because when I see women that's 35, 40, that's childless, I mean, I really, a lot of them I don't see this childless, but I'm saying I don't see those women saying, they don't feel that conviction that, okay, damn, I'm not where I want to be at. That's just probably why I'm not married. Versus the man is, I'm where I want to be at. The reason I'm not married is not because of where I'm at. It's because of the women that's in my age range. It's not where it would make sense for me to marry them. You get what I'm saying?
Uh I kind of disagree with him just a tiny little bit. I think both men and women, as we get older, at some point, it's human nature not to take accountability. Right now, the difference is that for men, if you don't have your shit together, life is going to remind you. Your friends are going to remind you. Your life circumstances are going to be right in your face, right? Like if you don't have enough money or your career ain't stable, first of all, the women are going to be, they're not going to pick you for the most part, because once you hang out with them, you can't afford the expensive dinner dates, or you don't have the nice looking crib and everything. there it's gonna show. Like life is gonna give you the consequences of not being on your purpose or not having a good career. Like as men, life is gonna give you your consequences right away. For the women, it's kind of different because even if a woman has no kids and is 45, she doesn't have to take accountability or blame herself for her choices or for her situation because she will always have men in her DMs. She will always have men approaching her. Now the difference is she won't have the right kind of man that she wants, but at the end of the day she will have the man still wanting her no matter her age, right? But us the men, the women don't come if you don't have your shit together, right? So I kind of disagree with him because um the men, we would not take accountability if life didn't show us right in our faces. For the women it's kind of indirect. And then another thing is both men and women want what's better always. That's human nature. We want the path of least resistance and we want what's better. So men want good women, right? And if they don't have the good women, they're probably gonna blame the women, and then vice versa. The women are gonna blame the men, saying there are no good men available if they don't have the man they want.
Bruiser. Most people are regular ass folks, man.
That's true.
Hold on, what does that mean, regular ass folks?
These motherfuckers just like most of these people, like the bell curve. Most of them motherfuckers just get up, go to work, and take care of their kids if they got some, or they just trying to get on down the road. We talking about stepping into their purpose, and I get who you talking about. But when I'm trying to talk about, we're talking about people at large.
Yep.
And most guys are just regular dudes. They get their ass up, they go to work. If they got some kids, they take care of their kids, and or they women. Like that's most men. And then most women are just regular ass chicks. Like they do the same shit. They get up, go to work, and come home. Mm-hmm. Like, why are we making this shit way more complicated than it has to be? What's the disconnect between those group of people?
Okay, so here's the disconnect.
Yeah, the disconnect is simple. That especially in this social media age, like you said, most of us are average, everyday people. We do the same things. We go to work, pay our bills, do this, hang out. We're not in the top 1%, maybe even not the top 10% of earners or people living the lifestyle. Most of us are simple, everyday people. The difference between men and women, I think, what he's going to say is that the average women don't want the average man, right? So if you meet a woman and she makes $50,000 a year, she doesn't want a man who makes $50,000 a year as well. She wants a man who makes more, whether 70, 80, some of, like I said, the 6 figure, 6 feet, all that. Those are usually the average everyday women who say those things. So I think that's the difference. Like an average guy will be okay getting into a relationship with an average woman. Like we are everyday average people. But the thing is, social media has messed up the game so much that once a woman looks on social media and sees one girl, IG model, being flown out on private jets, taken shopping, being flown out to Dubai, then subconsciously she's gonna think, you know what, I deserve that kind of man. I mean, if you listen to the City Girls, to Cardi B and all these Megan Stallion rap stars, female rap stars, they are telling these women, you deserve more, you deserve 6-figure, 8-figure nigga, blah blah blah. You guys know the songs I'm talking about. So that's the difference in the social media era. The average woman doesn't want the average man.
Why are those regular ass 35-year-old men not married? And is it the same excuse for the regular ass 35-year-old women that are not married?
No, it's different.
I would argue yes.
That's the disconnect.
Yeah. I would argue yes. I will say this, you have two groups of people and they have their expectations and they're not willing to yield on them. They're not willing to come in good faith. They're not willing to. I would be lying if I said that this is more men than it is women. But I think what has happened is that we're dealing with a group of women that aren't willing to settle. even if the man is
Yep.
exactly who they supposed to be with.
All right, go ahead, Lady Mowgli. You was trying to say something with this, Sweeney? Stay.
I agree. If you guys saw the video I posted about the chick who went on to Kendra's G show, dating show, she said she wants a man who's like Drake or better. Guess what? There is supposedly she came back to give Kendra an update, and there was a guy who's better than Drake that flew her out to Chicago. Then when she came back to Kendra G's show, she said the guy was everything she was asking for, but apparently they couldn't connect, something like that. So here's a woman who's asking if a man who's Drake or better, because apparently Drake tried to talk to her back in the day, but now she wants a man who's like has all the money, who's like Drake, to put it in a simple way, right? But now she gets the man who's like Drake, and now he's not good enough either. So I think that's what this guy is trying to say. That for the most part, women will get the guy they've been asking for, and then they'll say the vibe wasn't there. Oh, he's missing this and this. So in other words, their standards are so high. I agree.
They literally just said what I was gonna say.
Okay.
So,
Hold on. I'm gonna check with Roof. Roof, you good?
Yeah, yeah. I agree with Sweeney. What the problem is that women don't like average guys.
True.
But they don't realize they are average themselves.
Yes.
I agree with Bruiser when he says when at 35, what I realized, the guy is just getting his money. See, we thinking that guys are sleeping with girls the whole time, but they're not. They're just getting what they can get. By the time they hit 35 and they start making money, they don't want to be married because then now they got money. Now they got to really play the field. Now they really showing off. They get a little cocky and, then after that, 45 something, they want to settle down, get married and things like that. So I do agree with a lot of things that Sharon, when you're not here, I'm the one saying all of those things. You don't know that, but I'm the one like the guys are doing this and the guys are doing that. So I'm just saying like sometimes when you hear the opposite of your argument, you're like, but wait. But that's why I say if women have a positive opinion of men, then you have more options. But we always have that negative opinion. And then on the men on the internet have this really negative opinion about women and they don't want to budge. And they think that all of us are this way and it's not true. So if you guys just flip flop, look to the other side and say, what about the good people, men or women? Then we can really start getting somewhere. Like y'all don't want to be married. Y'all don't want to have legacy. You don't want to build wealth together. Like y'all either got to do it or not. But
We gotta get
about
Mark,
the negative side of the other is
real quick, and then that's.
Yeah, I do agree with Ruth. Ruth broke it down very well. We live now in a time where both men and women are blaming each other. And yeah, for some cases, both women and men make good points, right? Maybe the men may say women have very unrealistic standards, very high standards, and maybe they're not submissive, blah, blah, blah. And the women may say, men are not masculine anymore, they're not leaders anymore. So I see both sides. And I think these conversations, it's going to be a long time, but I think such conversations will bring us to, will bring us closer rather than apart. But I guess social media isn't helping in that, right? What do you guys think? Comment down below. Again, link down to the full video. Go check it out. What you guys think? Do average women want average men anymore? Or they only want the top 10, fair 5, 1%? What do you guys think? Comment down below. Subscribe. Peace.